Also, I'm checking the analytics. The algorithm tells on you. So I know when you guys haven't watched the full video. Why? If we say every week, give us your feedback, give us your comments, give us, all of that. If you're not watching the full video, then something.
How you know? How you know what we done did?
But
how you know what we talked about?
Or something is throwing you off.
I wonder if now I can't remember. Scratch that.
Okay.
So I can't, y'all. You know my mind, champ.
Welcome back to Thoughts in the Glass podcast. I'm LaToya.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is a weekly podcast where we give our unfiltered thoughts on a variety of topics and we share our personal experiences.
So grab your drink, sit back, relax, and join us on this journey of real, raw, and ridiculously funny commentary that we try to come and our little bit of banter, rants, and all of the things that we come with. So make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you are notified every time that we every time that we post a new video. We usually have our videos come out every Wednesday morning, so if you have nothing to do, it'd be great if you could watch it in that first hour, first day, get our numbers up.
Yeah. Every week we do a drink of the night. So Kendra, what is our drink tonight?
So I'm going on this kind of summery, getting ready for spring, lightweight. If you're having a cookout, you can have it and still be refreshed. And it doesn't taste like alcohol. I think Toya can agree that those are the best type of drinks for the ladies. I mean, the gentlemen's too.
Yeah.
The gentlemen's too. But so this is what we have. This drink here is called a Sea Breeze. I'm sorry. I'm lying. This is a Bay Breeze.
Bay Breeze. Okay.
And it's made with cranberry juice, pineapple juice, and an ounce of vodka. Now, with this drink, it also has a sister, which is the Sea Breeze, which instead of having the pineapple juice, you would do grapefruit juice.
Okay.
And so these drinks kind of stem from the Cape Codder, which is actually just your cranberry and vodka and cranberry.
Okay.
So that's the actual name for it. It's called a Cape Codder. So then you have your Cape Codder, and then you have your Madres, which is vodka, cranberry juice, orange juice, Sea Breeze, vodka, cranberry juice, grapefruit juice, Bay Breeze, vodka, cranberry juice, pineapple juice.
Okay. Well.
So.
Cheers.
Cheers. I stay spilling shit. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's delightful, right? It's super nice, like on a hot day. But this is something that's, if you run in the house and you're like, all right, let me get some, you're going to drink this up, and next thing you know, you're going to be on your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know. You don't taste anything that unless you get a double shot or something like that, just because you want to taste it. But even in that, you ain't going to taste a lot, because that pineapple juice will cut it, so.
Delicious. So this is the first episode dropping for the month of April.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on in
April. Spring is sprung. So time to start getting your drinks together, because you're gonna be out there gardening and doing all the things. And so part of the awareness month, the things that are a part of this awareness month for April are I'm missing mine. I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all.
So I think it's Stress Awareness Month.
Stress Awareness Month. So get out in that garden, like you were saying in one of the other episodes, going and decompressing. Earth Month. So go ahead and get some trees on.
Get back in the garden.
Get it back in it. Look, clearly they want you up in that garden.
There's a theme.
They want you to plant, help pollinate the world out here. And then you have Alcohol Awareness Month. And let me tell you something. Just because we drink, let me put that out there now. We are not alcoholics. This is my drink for the week.
Maybe in April for Alcohol Awareness Month, maybe we'll do a mocktail.
We'll do a mocktail. Actually, every drink that I make outside, even like the chocolate martinis and stuff, when it only has alcohol in it, you can take that out and still have that as a mocktail.
Yeah.
You could do like the Sea Breeze. It was basically just cranberry and grapefruit juice. I mean, strawberry.
Yeah, but for like because that's just telling people to drink juice.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to think of like a really creative mocktail where
We'll
it's like
have
they're still
something.
getting that cocktail feel,
Okay.
but it's non-alcoholic. So we can think of something.
Okay, we'll think of something. We'll put some. We'll throw. I'll put something together for you
Yeah.
guys. And then it is American Heritage Month.
Okay.
So
that's what's up.
this is the opportunity for you guys to learn something new, just like we do with Women's History Month, Black History Month. Go in, learn something new about an Arab person, and drop that in the comments and let us know who we should maybe talk about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
learn about. And then last but not least, of course, it is Autism Acceptance Month.
Nice.
And we all have people in our lives, if not even just ourselves, who are on the spectrum or have sorts, parts of, or types of autistic behavior or things that we go through. So just having that awareness and acceptance that people are just different.
Yeah.
And being understanding to that, So that's something that I think that we should all, not just on in April, recognize, but always recognize that you have to be accepting of other people and the differences that make us human.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
well, I think I've seen this on. Did I see it on TikTok? I'll be on the socials.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little something lighthearted question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you were stranded on a desert island and you could only bring 3 things that are not electrical, automatic, all the easy peasies, what would you bring?
Am I clothed or am I naked?
Child, now I'm scared to be naked. I'm naked and afraid. I'm scared to be. You got to have some clothes on. First of all, I'm not burning up in the sun. I don't want poison ivy. I have had poison ivy on my body. I'm not going to. You gonna have all the clothes you need.
So you said a deserted island. Well, so if I'm already clothed, because I was thinking that would be one of my things. It's like I need to have on clothes. But if I'm already clothed, I would say I could survive with some type of knife, machete, or blade. Something to start a fire with, whether it be one of those like, what do you call those things? It's like a little contraption, and it causes a spark. Yeah, but it's not electronic. Right. It's like mechanical.
Okay.
One of those.
Okay.
And I would probably do like a sheet or a net or something.
Okay.
That would be my 3 things.
Got you. For me, it would be a fishing rod.
Mm-hmm.
with a bunch of twine with it. A knife. More than likely, it would be more of a kind of a machete thing, because with those you could also cut down trees.
Mm-hmm.
And matches.
But what if your matches get wet or they run out?
Oh, child. Well, I need to. Well, I mean, that's the fire, but the fire things, they run out too, because it has the gasoline and stuff in it.
No, those things, like, you've never seen. It's like I don't know what it's called.
It's like the stick situation.
Yeah, but it automatically makes a spark. Like, it's too.
But you can't have anything automatic.
It's not automatic. It's like it's too. Girl. It's like a fire starter, but it's like 2 like metal things. They look like a pair of scissors, but they're not scissors. When the metal crosses each other like that, it causes a spark. But it's not.
Maybe I want one of those.
What is it called?
I don't know.
Do y'all know? Y'all probably know. Put it in the comments.
Anyway, okay. Something to start a fire. Something to start a fire. I would like to.
I'm hyper fixating. I gotta figure out what this thing is called.
Oh Lord, she's going through it. Okay, we'll continue the conversation, folks. So, yeah, those are my 3 things, and then hopefully I can learn how to cut down some trees. Cause I'm gonna tell you what I do watch.
We watch
on YouTube. It's this guy, and their YouTube channel is the Nature Boys.
Oh yeah,
girl, they live in Alaska, and he be surviving. He goes out and he'll do like the snow, and he'll go and do it like be in a blizzard and stuff, and he made like an igloo, and I'm like, you made that, and it took you 12 hours, and you only stayed in it for overnight, and then he was gone. And I know that he has the channel
So
because
he
he's
spent
showing
half
people.
the time making the igloo.
I promise you, because then it's like he wakes up and he's like, oh, it's super early in the morning. Let's get some breakfast started. And he always brings stuff, so he'll have things. But like, he trekking through the snow. It's amazing to me. And then on some of the stuff that he has 3 boys. So he takes his sons with him and shows them stuff. He was in Boy Scouts. He has a wife, so she sometimes comes on some of the things, but they do a lot of like fishing and stuff. But when he does the nature stuff, I'm all in. You hear me? I'm glued to the computer. It's amazing to me.
Even though I said my 3 things, I don't think I would survive. I mean, how long? How long are we talking? Like a day, 2 days, 3 days?
I mean, you want to desert it. So I don't know.
I gotta live. I gotta I'm just stuck there.
I'm gonna give us some parameters. Let's say we on a deserted island that used to be a resort. So now we can operate in a better space.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
I might have a chance.
Toya said, if it ain't nobody to give it to, I can't help you. Because you know what? I told you what I signed up for. I signed up for Love Me. I'm on a Love Me program. Other than that, that's not my job. Because let's say there's some type of shelter.
Okay.
Or, so someone's been there. I don't know. I have this image that I would be a survivor.
Okay.
Right?
Well, that's good.
But then we go to the gym. And so the last time we worked out, he had us running. And my cousin was like, this is why there's no fat zombies. We be out of there. I'm going to tell you what. My shins start hurting and my knees is weak. And now I'm a zombie. It's over for me. That's like, God. In my mind, I'd be like, I can do it. And then
I don't even think, if the zombies are like the zombies in Walking Dead, I don't even think I would turn. Like, they're going to eat me. They're going to just devour me.
But I'm not, because you got to get bitten and then
escape.
But
I'm not escaping. They're going to eat me.
Like, listen, I don't want to be a part of that. I hope I'm on a helicopter that they sending the people out.
Girl, I want to be back at the small little base that they done built with the little semblance of civility that they had.
That's what I'm saying.
And I want to be...
I want when it all comes down, I'm on the list for them to helicopter me out of the situation.
Okay.
And send me to safety. With me,
send me
my
to the
children,
outpost.
and my man. Hopefully my people make it. But that's on the Lord. But I'm send me to I got to keep the generations going.
Right.
I can't do it. LaToya, I don't. Not even I can't, because can't is not in my mind. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm already scary about every little thing, and so I don't want to live in a space where every time I turn, when I wake up, I don't know if it's a zombie looking at me like, now.
I mean, I think
are you delectable or not?
If we were in that situation, it'd probably be different because you would have to do it, right? But okay, build me up to it. Like, have it to where like it's starting in California and it's making its way to the East Coast. That way, I have time to like build up to it
and prepare yourself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what though. I'm gonna be finding somebody's mansion that's deserted.
You and like 1,000 other people.
You know what? There's a fight or flight situation. A lot of people will flee first before saying, okay, I'm gonna hunker down, but prepare myself for the hunkering. Because in your mind, it's like, I don't know how long I'm gonna have to be hunkered, so I would rather try to get away than just stay. Which I can understand that part. But I don't.
But then even like getting away, where you gonna go?
People sometimes the thought of just getting away is like, I'm gonna make it.
Oh, okay.
Right? You know how you have that thought like, I'm gonna make it. If I stay, I'm not gonna make it. I would be like, put me in the mall or something where there's a unlimited amount of things.
Yeah, but things run out.
And I know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how long is this apocalypse happening?
I don't know. You know what I do want though? That little electric car that got the titanium. It's a new one. It's on social
Okay.
media. I sent it to
Okay.
you.
Okay.
They got all the things, and they trying to make it better. Cause you're gonna need something. I keep telling.
But somebody that don't want to be a part of it.
I got plans, don't I? I told Dad, like, we need an RV. Cause then I'm gonna get some stuff, and I'm gonna get it battle ready. Get it battle ready.
Okay.
I need to be doing something.
You need to get off TikTok.
I do. Cause I aspire.
What's happening here?
Because it's telling you some things.
Okay.
It's telling you some things.
TikTok to me, while it's beneficial in a lot of ways, it has become the breeding ground for conspiracy theories.
Because people, girl, let me tell you one thing I saw this morning. It was so funny, but you know what? You put this information out, and people debunk it so fast.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was like, I'm in 1986. And showed the Taco Bell that he was at and a Jack in the Box.
Mm-hmm.
This other guy comes on and said, well, I did a Google search of the pictures that you put up, and they do have it that still looks very much so retro. But he was like, the one that you were at says open for 24 hours. In 1986, it looked like this and didn't have open 24 hours. So it's like people be on their line.
But first of all, who would I would have thought that was a joke from the beginning.
Exactly, but there are people I think of time travel. Now let me tell you something. The Simpsons always be having me questioning stuff.
I'm not doing this with you.
I'm sorry. They drop that in the comments if y'all be thinking you be watching The Simpsons. The Simpsons had the whole
the
thing
Simpsons
with
be
Donald.
predicting the future.
I'm not going to start this conversation, but I'm gonna tell you something. It's something fishy going over there on that Fox.
Okay.
Y'all know it. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know honestly what those things would get me on the desert island, because I don't really know how to chop down a tree, even though I have the machete.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting a fire, but I'm also alone. So
you start the fire so that you could do a big bonfire. So
girl, I would probably burn the fucking island up.
Oh.
I would start a forest fire.
They be like, now,
I don't know what I'm doing.
now, what is this? They done seen it in space. Now somebody got something going on down there, and all you see is Toya like, please.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I think we'll be all right. I think you give yourself less credit than you deserve. I think you'll be on it.
Oh, thank you. So how was your week?
My week was good.
What'd you do for Easter?
I always cook, right? We've been trying to get together as a family. We went down to see Dee's grandparents, and that's really just about it. I got Easter baskets for the kids. Mm-hmm. They so spoiled. Freaking spoiled.
Who's doing the spoiling?
Oh gosh, no one needs to point fingers. That's unnecessary calling outs. But and that was just really about it. We are still in the midst of prom season. So on the 22nd, I think it's the 22nd, Janae will be going to prom. Mm-hmm. She done sent me the hotel. I'm like, girl, I want to be spending the night at the hotel, girl.
Okay.
Who's going to the hotel? Who? And what y'all gonna be doing there?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Where's the cameras?
What's happening at the hotel?
What's happening at the Telly-Tale? Because I know what I was at when we already know what happened to me when I was at prom. I was already pregnant. So I don't got time. I'm gonna just tell y'all now.
My mom didn't allow that. I mean, I know times are different and people are different, and I'm not saying this. I'm just saying, like, I think we end up going bowling because she was like, you can have an extended curfew. Like, I don't think I came home till like maybe 1:30. So she was like, you can have an extended curfew, but you ain't spending the night nowhere. Like, I don't know though what her thinking was. If she was thinking, because I was already sexually active and she knew that. So I don't know what her thinking was. If it was like, it's no reason for you to do it. Maybe I don't have the funds for you to do it, or whatever the case. But she wasn't with it, because a lot of people did get hotel rooms after our prom.
So this is the thing, and this is what the conclusion I'm starting to come to, and it's really a hard thing that I'm going through. soon there won't be any more mom can I,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be mom I'm going,
Mm-hmm.
because Janae's getting ready to be 18.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that we have merged into that currently, where, let's try to mute this, where I'm just like, let me know what's the goings on, because I can't. At some point, you can't continue. It's a hard break to
Yeah.
just be like, okay, so she just turned to 18 today, so now
You on your own.
you on your
Yeah, you
own,
can't do
right?
it like that.
So going into being 17, she's doing what she's supposed to do. She's working. I'm like, just let me know what's going on. There's still a curfew.
Mm-hmm.
And that will continue just because it's other children in this house. There's other
Right.
people in this house. I gotta go to
Right.
work.
Right.
It ain't just gonna be some lollygagging around.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm like, okay, to get in this hotel, how are you getting there? Because the prom is in College Park.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to get all of the logistics together. But I didn't get that. Probably would never have,
Mm-hmm.
or shouldn't have, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I just do things differently now.
Yeah.
Being a millennial mom,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to kind of, I guess we always try to fix the inner child.
Yeah. So,
So
yeah,
try
try
to
to
just,
give her some of the things that you wish you had. Mm-hmm.
and because I started off with having conversations and giving them the confidence that they needed to. It ain't necessary.
Yeah.
Just because somebody say they love you and all of the things, that it ain't necessary for you to go that route. So, but yeah, so that's about it. Just I hate to say it, and I don't want to rush through it, like saying I'm just trying to get through the senior year,
Mm-hmm.
because it's important for her.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to get through the senior year.
I understand. I understand.
So what about you? Anything new
Easter
going
for
on?
me, we ended up just having dinner, family dinner, and it was kind of uneventful because two of my cousins are already in college now. My stepdaughter's in college. Their spring break was the week before last.
Okay.
So the older kids were back in college
Right.
for Easter.
Right.
And we don't really have too many like young
Young
ones. My one cousin, I mean, we have some like 14, 15, 16, but like they don't want to be bothered.
Right.
So
Ain't no Easter egg hunt.
yeah. So the only person
it's
that
money in it,
would
they'd be
get
up
a
in there.
basket is like my baby cousin.
Yeah.
I don't know if my sister would do a basket for her son, but I mean, like he's only 4 months, so
Right.
or 3 months, so like it was kind of just dinner, and that was it.
Right.
I mean,
So I'm going through this phase. I talk about my kids a lot on here because I think these are my learning lessons. So, and I know when people have seen on social media the Drea Michelle and what's the little boy name? I don't know, the 22-year-old young man that she has now. They are now expecting a child, and so people have been up in arms about the fact that she is in her 40s. I think she's like 4D, but I think this young man is the same age as her son.
okay.
And so, so we'll have that. So everybody.
Jalen Green.
Jalen Green. That's what I thought. I was about to say Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the Green was there, but I didn't know. So Jalen Green. But you see, I know a little something about some sports because I know the basketball man. That's football man. I know the basketball man. So I was having a conversation with Jayla, and so this is, of course, young, but so Jayla will be she just turned 15, of course, and so she's like, well, what would you think of me dating somebody that's 17? And I said, what do you have in common with a 17-year-old who's getting ready to graduate, and you are only going into the 10th grade? And she's like, well, we have, and I'm like, and logically, if you change it to 20 and 22, makes sense, right? Me and D, we're 2 years apart. So it makes sense. But in my mind, there's something about 15 and 17 that's just like, that does not make sense.
I mean, it's not You're absolutely right, because it's not about the age gap, it's about where they are in their
Right.
developmental
Right.
stages. So it is a huge, to me, it is a huge difference from
Mhm.
15 to 17.
Mhm.
The 17-year-olds getting ready to go to college.
Right.
The 15-year-old, I mean, sometimes they still ain't washing good.
But this is the other part though, because now you have the 15-year-old girls
Hmm.
that are very mature.
They are, but I mean, I guess really depends on individually, like the
Yeah.
two children individually,
Yeah.
and it really depends on the parents.
Right.
Like,
Because I think
what?
about it like if you're a freshman in college, so
Hmm.
let's say you're 18 and you meet somebody that's 20.
Yeah, but I still think that it's a big difference, because from 18 to 20, like at 18, you now are maybe just getting a little taste of that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
At 20, you've
You've
had
been
it
in
for a
there
while,
yeah.
but y'all still in that era of
Mm-hmm.
young adult having your
Mm-hmm.
freedom. Whereas in high school, you have one that's like still an adolescent,
Mm-hmm.
and one that's in going into young adulthood.
Right.
So it's
It's
2 years, but it's a difference between being 2 years old and being 4 years old.
right. Right. And I think until you hit your 20s, it doesn't affect the situation as much until then.
Yeah, or
Um,
it affects it more
right.
until then.
Right. So in your mind, so this age gap between Drea and Draylon, does it cause for, in your opinion, if he was your child, or she was your, and or so from 2 points of view, if he was your child, that answer of how you would feel, and if she was your girlfriend,
Hmm.
one of your homegirls, that train of thought.
If he was my child, I would. It would be hard for me. It would
Mm-hmm.
be really hard for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm coming from a space of a parent and trying to
Mm-hmm.
protect and still
Mm-hmm.
trying to guide,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? Because you're 22, you're grown, you can do whatever you want, but I'm still there to guide you.
Yeah.
Um, it depends on the maturity level. If I felt like my son was very mature and could
Mm-hmm.
handle it,
Mm-hmm.
then I would be like, hey, do you?
Mm-hmm.
But even if I did feel like he was mature and he could handle it, I would still be, I don't think I would be cool with it.
Yeah.
I would still have a lot of questions
Right.
of like, because they say that your frontal lobe isn't fully developed until 25.
Mm-hmm.
And so my 22-year-old son is still somewhat impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so my worry would be, this relationship is predatory.
Mm-hmm.
That you are preying on this younger person,
Mm-hmm.
and you're becoming an influence
Mm-hmm.
to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're highly susceptible to whatever you influence them
Mm-hmm.
to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a form of grooming.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be an issue for me as a
Mm-hmm.
parent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned as to, what are you trying to groom my child into being?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously something that benefits you.
Right.
So, and then for my girlfriend, the question would be, now, what is it that you see in somebody that's 20 years younger than you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not understanding that. It
Right.
doesn't, okay, yeah, he has the money, he has the fame, and he probably good in bed, and he probably has a good head on his shoulders, but you that could be your child.
Because I think her son is around the same age.
It's giving weird. It's giving, so you would basically sleep with one of your children's friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving weird.
So then my question to you is, why wasn't it as big of a thing? And I'm not gonna say it wasn't a big thing, but like I'm gonna give a couple of men. We have, well, he was and it was grooming, the Playboy man,
Mm-hmm. Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner, Diddy,
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Houston,
Mm-hmm.
um, he in jail, R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
So we have all these same people who have done the same thing. and the weight of, okay, well, she shouldn't have got pregnant, or she shouldn't have, whatever. It's like, let's just say he's a little wise beyond his years.
Okay.
So let's say he's in the way he operates, the way he moves, because he is in football. They teach you a lot of different things within that team sport.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that he's mature for his age.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just give him 25.
Okay.
Right? Let's say that the way that he operates, the way that he moves in his space,
Mm-hmm.
he's mature for his age. And she's immature for her age.
I mean, I guess there is something to be said for that, but I still think that I think the same point you were making, or the same point we were making from 15 to 17 applies here. I don't really think that age gaps are an issue, other than you being in two different stages of your life.
Okay.
So, because they're in two different stages of life, I feel like that's where it becomes an issue. He's still in a vulnerable stage of life.
Okay.
He's still in a place where his thoughts and decisions can be easily influenced. If he was 32 and she was 52, I wouldn't see a problem with that.
Okay.
Because at 32, you should now be at a place where you've pretty much developed into the man that you're going to be. And while you may be influenced somewhat by your significant other, it's not so much to where she's grooming you.
Okay. I'll just say this. I definitely agree with that it just makes for a very unsavory situation. This is what I was getting ready to say. That's why when you talk about the age, the place that they're in, right? So I know clearly she had her child young, right? Being a parent, doing things, being on Basketball Wives, doing all this, that, and the fourth. Let's say for myself, for example, I had my children very early, right? So now in my getting ready to be 40, let's say I wasn't in a relationship, didn't have Joshua. So now my children, and maybe didn't even have Jonathan. And so now the girls are basically grown. And so now the things that I wanted to do in my 20s,
you're doing it now.
I'm doing it now. So I just want to kick it. I just want to hang. Me and him are having a great time because it's no pressure. We just having a good time. We doing this, that, and the fourth. And I really enjoy the level of company that he gives because he's mature. He talks about some of the because he's been all over the world, because he has this exposure. So now I'm dating a guy that I'm not necessarily trying to influence. I'm just really enjoying the fact that he has these things that he was able to do, right? And so then I also think about it being a football player. There are some things that you have experienced well before what a normal 17-year-old may have experienced.
Absolutely.
So because they've taken you, let's say now they're trying to recruit you, so they done took you to the strip club. They done flued you out. You done had all of these type of girls and whatever in school. So now you like, okay, I want someone, and maybe it would have been better if she was in her 30s, right? But it's like, I want someone who is experienced and where the fame of me isn't what's drawing her. And it still may be that, but it's like, but she ain't tripping off that because she could be with another type of player. She's been with other football players. Like it's not a to-do. When I'm with her, she's not trying to be my mom. We just hanging out. We're doing, because she may not be that type of person in that relationship. So it's like, I think sometimes we may put how we are on someone else, because I know a lot of women who are in their 30s act like teenagers, and you would look at them like, my children make more sense than you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think more often for men, it's like, I want somebody that's going to listen to me and things like that. Sometimes I think for women, and I'm not in this situation, but I think for women, it's kind of like, oh no, I want someone who doesn't feel as if I owe them something. You know what I'm saying? Because I will say, some of these being in a relationship with an older man, they are very unpliable because they are who they are, and they don't want to necessarily grow.
Yeah.
And so you might meet somebody that's 22 that's like, you can show him other things or have different conversations which piques interest of, oh, this is what I should learn. So maybe if let's say it don't work out. So now the next person that he dates, let's say he dates someone who is in his age range, he may be so much more mature than them that he is the groomer.
I mean, maybe, but I think it still just boils down to I'm not really given. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they are in their personal relationships. I'm just assuming. So I don't know how she is with him. Maybe she does allow him to kind of do him. Maybe she's not influencing him. But it's hard because even as adults who we already are, I'm not gonna say set in our ways, but like we already know who we are as people, we still get influenced by our significant others. I'm just saying he's more susceptible to it because he's younger. Like my husband, can influence me to want to be a little bit more heightened in my awareness for security, right? Because he's into that. And so now maybe I do know more about guns. Maybe I do.
Right.
But I wouldn't have known that if I wasn't dealing with him.
Right.
But that happened in a situation where I'd already formed my own opinions around it.
Right.
With somebody younger, even though they may have already formed their own opinion, it's just easier for you to change their mind. And I don't think people do it on purpose, but it's like, if I want you to, or if I'm thinking a certain way, even if I don't tell you I want you to think like me, but if I'm always around you and I'm always saying certain things and you want to be with me, it may cause you to start changing your opinion to be more aligned with mine.
Right.
So that we could be in a harmonious relationship.
Right.
It's still a form of grooming though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that person is just too young to really stand in their own opinions. And I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it is still somewhat predatory. Yeah. Now, he's a grown man.
That's the other part.
He's a grown man. So while we could have all kinds of feelings about it, that's his business. I just think for her, like you were saying, if that was a friend of mine, I would definitely bring that up. I would definitely bring up, hey, it seems you all seem to be in two different places right now.
Or maybe y'all not in two different places and I need to evaluate my friendship.
That too. Oh, and I could also understand it just being we just having sex, we just having fun. Oh, I got pregnant. I'm 42 and I'm not having an abortion. I could understand it being that too. That I didn't mean to do this to you, but hey, we are two adults. We both went into the situation having unprotected sex, knowing what could happen, and it happened.
Yeah.
And now we have to live with the consequences of it happening.
And he seemed like he ready to live with him, child.
I'm not mad at him for that. On the other hand, though, we'll look at a lot of these men, and they do it. And
it's not a big to do.
Exactly.
That's what I be saying.
So I definitely need.
What's good sometimes for the goose is good for the gander. It's just women aren't supposed to do that.
What age do you feel like is the quote unquote right age to settle down?
I think it all comes down to when you're ready. Sometimes I think if I had made different decisions, I would have settled down much younger. But I don't think I would have had kids. I think that, but then I think you should have kids young because when you're in your 40s, that you're done.
What does being ready mean, though?
I don't know. It's really up to you what you consider ready, because parents would be like, no, maybe 25, 30, because that's when they felt they were ready. But it all depends on when you feel as if that it works for you. And if it works, great, get married. And if you get married and it's not supposed to be like this, and I'm not condoning it as a way to do things, you can always unfortunately get divorced. That's what it's there for. But then I'm like, also have your relationship work for how you need your relationship to work. I don't know if my partner and I will get married, but I tell you what, I'm fulfilled in my relationship.
If Janae came home and told you she wanted to get married after her 18th birthday, how would you feel about that?
I would give her some realistic life lessons. But when it comes down to it, you 18, and I'm gonna be there to support you, and I'm gonna have a conversation with that man, and to understand that she's 18, y'all are 18. Because I don't think she deals with anybody that's too much older than her. But it's like there's real responsibilities when it comes to a family and having that conversation. And but not, I don't think I would be discouraging of it because number one, that pushes that person to it more. But then you won't know anything because they're gonna always be like, "Oh, you ain't want me to do it anyway, so I don't really tell you stuff." Now, I would rather not necessarily be jumping for joy, but say I'm here to support you in the decisions that you make, but being realistic in what it is.
I remember I was dating a guy. Well, we didn't even get to date that long, but I was dating a guy when I was 18. I think he was 32. And we had met. He drove. He was a Metro bus driver, and we had met on the bus, and whatever, having a little conversation, whatnot. And exchanged phone numbers, and we went on a date. We went on a couple of dates. Everything was cool. I was there for the good time. I don't know what he was there for.
He was there for the long time.
Well, I was there for the good time.
And he was there for the cremation.
Maybe he was, but he took me on a couple dates. It was nice. He had I was in school too, so on the bus we were talking a little bit, and obviously he saw where I was getting off at. So, when I told him like I'm in school, he was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So he had ended up paying for a class or something. I had mentioned like, "Oh, I want to take this summer class and it costs this amount." He was like, "Well, I definitely, and want to encourage you. I know you're trying to get your degree. How much is the class?" So I told him how much the class was. He gave me the money, paid for the class. I knew though that that situation wasn't
kosher.
So one day we going on a date. We had been on 2 dates already and talking on the phone a lot. He had sent me money for the class, so we probably talking for like a month. One day he's taking me on a date and he's coming to my house to pick me up. Ooh. This is his first time coming to my house. Ooh. All the other dates we had met. Yeah. Right. But we had been talking for a month, and I was trying to be smart. We had been talking for a month. I'm, kind of trust him a little bit. All right, now he can pick me up from my house. But I strategically was like, pick me up at this time, time that I thought nobody was going to be home. And my mom was home. And so he pulls up, of course, in a Cadillac truck and tinted windows. And my mom was like, "Oh, where you going?" I was like, "I'm going on a date today." She was like, "This him out here in this truck?" I said, "Yeah." She said, I think the first thing that went through her mind was, what little boy she dealing with got a Cadillac truck?
First of all, what drugs he selling?
I don't know what she was thinking. So she was like, "I want to meet him." And I was like, "Nah, I'm not ready for you to meet him yet." And she was like, "Well, I don't care. He's sitting outside. I'm going to meet." Well, first, and then she was like, "He not going to come ring the doorbell." And I was like, "Oh, I told him not to. I'm going to run out there." She was like, "Nah, I'm going to meet him." So she goes out there to meet him. He rolls the window down, and my mom immediately cussed this man out. She was like, "What do you want with my daughter? She's 18 years old. Like, I know you fucking lying." And needless to say, we never went on that date. But I mean, I get it because I've been on.
She just messed you up from being a sugar baby. You could have been somewhere laid up in a lap of luxury.
Or I could have been groomed.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Like, I thought I was mature. I thought I was handling it the safest way possible to my 18-year-old mind. Yeah. But who knows what pitfalls I would have fell into just not being that experienced. And I was disappointed at the time because I was like,
"Sir,
I was ready to go out."
Okay.
And she was like, "Absolutely not." And I mean, it wasn't done in a way of like, I'm telling you not to. She didn't really have too much to say to me. She kind of directed it all at him. And later she was like, "I understand you doing you." She was like, "But I got a problem with him because what are you trying to do?
Right.
Like, why you can't get a woman your own age?"
That be the question.
And so she was literally cussing this man out. Child. And he ended up leaving. But then I think that's a lesson learned, right, for him too, because anytime you dating a girl and you got to argue with her mom, you probably shouldn't be dating her.
Well, people be dating this, and the mom, you be a few years apart, and the mama still be out there arguing with you.
It could be, but like, but he knew my age. I didn't lie about it. He knew I was in college. Like, he knew. Yeah. So I don't know, but I've been in that situation before. Call myself trying to be a little rebellious.
Trying to be grown.
It didn't work.
You worse than me because, well, you ain't had a baby, but my baby father was 27 when I was 17. Come on. Outside.
Listen, hey, I don't know what to say about it.
LaToya was gonna be a sugar baby, y'all. See, now you're finding out some things.
I mean, maybe at that point in my life,
you would have been on it.
I could have been. Now, though, I'm jaded.
Mama, why you do me like that? All right, so we're gonna switch it up this week a little bit, and we're gonna do our "Am I the Asshole?" instead of "Are we here for it?" So I mean, it's kind of the same gist, but. So, am I the asshole for wanting my wife not to not tell her family about my financial status? So, I recently found out I will be inheriting some properties and a significant amount of money. I told my wife, but made it clear that I wanted to leave this between us, especially not telling her big mouth sister. I didn't want anyone to know about my inheritance. Invest all of the money, hire a property management company, and intend to keep our current lifestyle. Last night at dinner with her parents and siblings, her father congratulated me on the impending windfall, and my brother-in-law pulled me aside and asked me about the houses I'll be receiving. He and his wife, my wife's big mouth sister, so this is the sister-in-law's husband. Mm-hmm. I have been saving for a house, but haven't had enough yet, and their credit score is low. Child, we know, child. I was very angry with my wife the entire night, but kept it in check. On the drive home, I yelled at her, check your tone. I admit that it wasn't my finest hour, but she did exactly the thing that I told her not to do. She argued with me that my secrecy demand was not right, and that she had the right and the duty to tell her family about my financial situation. Because I'm reading this, I'm reading it with y'all, because I'm getting upset. I'm telling my business, bitch. You shut your mouth. We argued for an hour or so, and when I finally had enough, I told her that she could not be trusted to keep our secrets, and that I won't be telling her anything else about my inheritance from this moment on. I said that in a heated moment, but the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. She tells her sister everything, and whatever her sister knows, everyone knows. I don't want the entire city to know about, what we have in our bank account. We are due to meet with the attorney later on and the financial advisor next week, but I think that I'll change that appointment to just me. Just to be clear, she's free to discuss anything with her family. I just like those two topics for it to basically stay between us. I got mad.
I mean, I feel him on that.
Okay. So are you keeping it to yourself? Your husband comes home. Mm-hmm. Baby. Unfortunately, sad, somber moment, such and such passed. But in that, I'm getting 4 houses, and we are getting $5.5 million. Mm.
I mean, so for the most part, I completely agree with him. Mm-hmm. The only little bit of grace I'm going to give her is, as somebody that's really close to my family, I understand how hard it can be to keep a secret from them.
Okay.
Even, and I don't know, they don't say it in here, but I could imagine me being in a situation, especially like me and my sister talk almost daily. Mm-hmm. So I could imagine me being in a situation where I mention it on accident. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we just talking, and I'm like, yeah, because we got to meet these people tomorrow. Not even thinking like, fuck, I wasn't supposed to say nothing. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And if her sister is obviously, like he said, telling everybody, it's almost like once you let it slip out,
it's over.
What can you do?
Right. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
So I just empathize with the wife on that, like how easy it can be sometimes, especially when you talk to somebody all the time.
Right.
How easy it can be to let information slip. But I just think her justifying it though, it's like, sis, take accountability.
Yeah.
Take accountability. Yeah. What do you mean, your family deserves to know about what you and your husband got going on?
Right.
That's not, just say, babe, I'm sorry.
Right. I shouldn't have said anything.
I said something I shouldn't have said.
It slipped. Or we were I was so excited. That's my best friend, whatever. And I'll be telling her stuff. From the and be the one to say, from now on, just do everything on your own. As long as it's best that I just don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. But her justifying it, I don't know. It kind of, now I'm starting to feel like maybe it's some ill intent. Like maybe she's in cahoots with her family to get into his pockets. Because the first thing the brother-in-law gonna do is ask him about the house. First of all, sir, you weren't even supposed to know.
Right.
So now I'm mad at my sister because I'm like, I can't keep a secret from you, and your nigga can't keep his mouth shut.
Right, because even if y'all all knew, keep it on the, as Martin say, keep it on the lock. Keep it on the down low.
In this particular circumstance, where there's a lot of money on the line, and she not being able to come together with her husband and be in lock and step with him, I just don't see it working out any other way.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, if I tell you, you're going to do the one thing I asked you not to do. So now I can't trust you.
Right.
It's a trust thing.
Yeah. No more convo.
Yeah.
It'll be, I would be like, babe, as much as I love you, I can't. This is something I'm going to have to do on my own because I don't want anybody to know about it. Because it seems like, I think that it wouldn't be an issue for people to know about it if niggas ain't asking for nothing.
And it may be if she would have said, because he said he had already had the plan of like investing it and hiring a manager and da-da-da. And maybe she, in her heart, was like, well, damn, we got 4 houses now and I know my sister trying to get a house. Maybe we could help them. But have that conversation with your husband first and say, hey, babe, I know you said you wanted to invest everything and do all of this and that. And we didn't have to work for this. This just landed in our lap. Is there any way we can help my sister? They're looking for a house. Now we have access to 4 houses. Is there any possible way we can? I would like to help my sister. I just think, and maybe the husband wouldn't have been on board with it. And maybe that's why she had to do it the way she did it. Because like, maybe she come to him like that and he like, hell no, we ain't doing that.
Right.
And as the wife, she probably feeling like, well, damn, we have literally come up and you just kind of like, fuck it. Like, you're not even considering it. And this is my backstory that I'm making up. Because I'm trying to just understand why she would do something like that. Especially since the first thing that the brother-in-law said was, hey, we need help with a house. So maybe that was the goal all along, right? Because according to his letter, nobody asked him for any money. Nobody asked him for really anything other than the brother saying they need help with the house.
But I'm going to, on the other side of that for me, because I am the person that would be like, no. Because this didn't come out of something that you and I did. This came out of something, a tragedy that happened over here.
Right.
It's not
exclusively on your side.
It's not my business that they have a low credit score. Right. It's also not my business because they 2 people. Yeah. I don't know if they have children or not, but they 2 people. And just like we had to do, if this wasn't here, what would they be doing? Right. So I can't give a handout to someone that's not doing their part of it. So if that means if you're trying to save money but your credit score is low, let's work on your credit score first before you trying to save money for a house, because you can't. Don't make sense. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. So now if I hand you something, and that, to me, that shows me something right there that you can't handle what you got going on in your own life. Right. So now I'm going to give you something that was given to me and you ain't doing what you supposed to do. Yeah. No. Because my thing is, you will be trying to buy that at a discount because you don't have the money to buy it outright.
Yeah, of course. Right. So I it as a discount.
I've inherited it, so it's paid off. There's no payments to be made on it. So you want to be given a house, so that mean that you're going to fix your credit score? No, because you ain't done it this long. Are you going to save the money that you know because you haven't done it for this long? So now I'm supposed to give your sister a handout that clearly we together, but I don't really fool with them like that.
And I mean, yeah, he probably is saying no, and she probably manipulatively told her family
And
so
I would
that they
not
could
tell
go
her a
back
damn thing
and
else.
I hate to give that advice because I feel like that's not how you should move in a marriage. But in a situation like this, really don't see any other option.
Yeah, because then the thing is, what I tell you before, you lie to me, you kill me. You don't know the levels of where someone else will go through,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I can understand is, now you've told your sister, she's told her husband. How do you
And your
know that
mom,
he,
because his mother-in-law said congratulations on your
the
windfall,
father,
or the
yeah, the
father.
father.
So
So you done told the father. So then my thing is, so let's say I say no, I'm not giving you this house. You don't think that husband gonna go back to his family and be like, look, he done got this, he done got this, and he not even trying to help us out. And you don't think his mama gonna tell her friends?
right.
So here we go down playing telephone off
Mm-hmm.
of the fact that you couldn't shut the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
And so now people know what we have, and people have plotation in their lives, and
Mm-hmm.
they plotative, as Wendy Williams would say. And they want to come get something from me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in, as he said at the end, I just want to live with how we've been living.
Yeah.
That's it. This wasn't a come up like we won the lottery, or it's something that we did.
It's a sticky
It
situation
is.
because it makes me think of money coming in between people,
Yeah.
because I'm just trying to look at it from multiple different angles.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying I just want to live how we've been living. We don't know how they've been living.
Right.
And what if the wife is thinking, now we have an opportunity to do better? And so now you and your husband are at odds on that because you see this as an opportunity to do better. And he's like, nah, I don't want to take advantage of that. I want to save it. I want to stack it up, maybe pass it to our kids or whatever.
Right.
I'm not trying to change our way of life right now.
Right.
I feel like that could cause resentment on one side. Like if he does it his way, then he's happy. But then what about her? I could see some resentment building up as a wife to know that you have access to something that can change our lives, that can better our lives, but you don't want to use it to do that. Not saying that his plan of how he wants to use it is wrong. I'm just saying if they're on two different pages, I could see that building up some resentment.
Yeah, and the thing is, and like you said, we don't know what their current life is, but I can just imagine. Let's say it is a situation. Okay, we need to get the car fixed. I don't think that he wouldn't do the things that we needed to do, but I think what he's saying, like it would be like, okay, I'm gonna still live currently how I live, but we need a new refrigerator. I'm still living in my current situation. I'm not saying, okay, now we're gonna go buy a mansion. Oh, now we buying Gucci bags, and we not. So living in your current situation, I think he didn't mean, and this is just my thought, that we don't do or change some things in a way that still keeps us humbly where we are.
Yeah.
But I think what his thing is, and the fact that he's saying I don't want people to know how much we're getting, because that all does come with envy, jealousy, and some more stuff, and it's sometimes it's not worth it. I watch the little shows when people be winning the lottery, and how that shit messes up their lives. It don't last. So
I mean, but what if she did want a new house? Like, what if she didn't want to? Like you've talked about, wanting to buy a new home. If D ended up just so happened to fall upon the resources that could do that for y'all, but he said, nah, instead of doing that, I'm gonna throw it in a savings account. You wouldn't be looking like, you see how hard I've been grinding to try to save and do everything to like get to that next step. You have an opportunity to take us to that next step, and it's like you just gonna go off and do this whole other thing. You wouldn't feel away.
I think I would feel like, especially if I trust my man, I feel like, okay, he has a bigger picture. We'll still continue to do what we have to do, because I also go back to, so if it wasn't there, you would still be doing this.
True.
And so I would rather it be there, so that when we get to this next part, we have the next part and we have the investment. It all depends on how much faith you have in your partner, too. So I think for me, that's where I would be at. And for me, getting another home is a luxury and not a necessity.
Right.
So if it was a necessity, we in the shack. Now we're gonna have a problem.
Right.
But if it's like, okay, so now I can do some home improvement stuff, and I know that we do have it. So now let's say my future is secure. So now the money that I was like maybe saving up, we were a little bit more strenuous in how we saved. now it's like, okay, I can lax up a little bit because now we've diversified our income. And so we now, what we have in the, what we were putting in, let's say in our stocks and stuff, I don't have to do that anymore because we already have something rolling in that.
Right.
So living in your same situation could mean, okay, so now we don't have to think so much about the future because it's more secure. But now in that, we're going to keep the security of the future and still grind out in the present.
Yeah.
And that's how for me, I would appreciate that because now we have both things. So.
It's an unfortunate situation. I hope that they give each other grace. Yeah. I hope she gives him grace for moving the way he feel he have to move, and I hope he give her grace for, you know, making a mistake. Because I get, like, shit happens. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was good. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Repost us, share it. Do all of that. Like, we need the engagement. Help us build the community. We say this every week. Also, I'm checking the analytics. The algorithm tells on you. So I know when you guys haven't watched the full video. Why? If we say every week, give us your feedback. Give us your comments. Give us, you know, all of that. If you're not watching the full video, then something...
How you know? How you know what we done did?
But
how you know what we talked about?
Or something is throwing you off.
Y'all done sit there and watch.
Y'all not telling us.
Y'all don't watch Risa Tisa for 575 hours. And you telling me you can't put us on and just listen? I don't even need you to watch the whole time. We just give good... Our voices sound nice.
Right.
We giggle and laugh. Put us on while you clean it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Put us in your back pocket. Hook us on. Put your headphones in. And clean up to the voices of Kendra and LaToya.
Period.
Come on now. It's two ways to skin a cat, as my daddy would say.
So yeah, I'm calling it out.
Oh,
I'm calling it out.
Put y'all on blast
because we see it.
We sees it.
We see it.
I wasn't gonna do you like that, but she done did it. The door is open. The can is open, and you can't put it back.
We appreciate the engagement. However much we get, we do appreciate it. Yes. But just know that we can see the analytics.
We know y'all like it.
Yeah,
we know y'all like it.
Well.
And with that being said, we're going to drink to y'all doing what y'all part.